Hey everyone, it's Biscord and welcome, and just look. I have to rant. I have to rant! Because Gege Akutami cannot cook. He can't cook for shit. Okay, with the way JJK has been going, I have been turned into Sukuna's biggest hater. I hate this man more than Sukuna hates Yuji. And it sucks because Sukuna has so much potential, but it is so clear that Gege Akutami is trying to turn Sukuna into the new Madara Uchiha or Sasuke Aizen. But when your character is poorly written, it just falls on its head because Sukuna's now on fraud watch everywhere. Every single time Sukuna's on fraud watch, even when he's winning. So I've never seen a villain so scrutinized. So I wanted to make a video as to why JJK is getting washed and why I personally hate Sukuna. Warning, by the way, if you're not caught up, catch up because you're gonna be spoiled. There's a lot of spoilers in this video. So yeah, if you're not caught up, just skip, alright? That said, let's get into it. Now, as I've said before, it's very clear that Gege is trying his hardest to turn Sukuna into like the big bad that is always mentioned when we are talking about like GOAT talks, right? The GOAT villains of anime. He's trying so hard to put Sukuna there. He's desperately trying to have Sukuna be as big, if not bigger, than Madara Uchiha, Sasuke Aizen, Miriam, Griffith, Light Yagami, Eren Yeager, so forth and so forth. But the reason why this keeps failing, why he keeps getting rejected like Anakin Skywalker, is for one reason. Sukuna's just badly written, right? For example, when you think about these big bads, when you think about like characters like Aizen, Madara, Miriam, they have a certain ideology or they have a certain type of writing that could be deeply analyzed. And now, before you jump into it, I'm not saying all villains need to be deeply analytical, like they don't have to be like deeply written and all that stuff in order to be a good villain, but it does definitely help their case. But whenever you have a villain that is on this list of the GOAT talks, they always have this ideology that really just either helps you stand with them or at least understand why you'd be against them. Sukuna's just a menace. That's literally it. Like, when you think of these villains, they either challenge the character's ideology or they're physically intimidating their physical antagonist. But they're mainly a physical and spiritual antagonist to the main character. Sukuna's not really that. He doesn't really fit into that problem or into those categories. Yes, physical, yes, but for the most part, he's just a physical menace. He's just a living menace, which is cool at first, but it becomes stale at some point. It becomes even more stale when you ask yourself this question, right? Sit down and think about this. What happens when Sukuna wins? Let's say Sukuna does win. He wipes out everybody. This is one of those animes where the villain wins. Then what? What has he achieved? What has he done? I'll be waiting, genuinely asking. What happens then? Because what is his goal? What is Sukuna's goal? I'm so curious. Let's say, what is his goal? Just to be chaotic evil? Like, we truly do not know. Which is why, personally, I would argue Mahito's a better villain than Sukuna. Because when it comes to Mahito, he was a villain in terms of ideology and in terms of physically. Having Yuji be the only person who can hurt Mahito's soul, or at least one of the only people who can do that. As for Sukuna, he's just a physical threat. Yeah, sure, he does torture Yuji, right? We'll have situations where whenever Sukuna pops up, he terrorizes everybody just to torment Yuji. But it's not even like I'm doing this to serve a narrative purpose, to serve an ideological purpose. It's more like, fuck you because you're one of the only people that can keep me at bay. So fuck Yuji, alright? This nigga's a bit too happy. Let me torment him a bit. It's nothing more than that. But again, I'm willing to hear an argument to say, no, Sukuna's definitely more than that. 100%. I'll discuss this with you in the comment section. But as it stands, Sukuna's not really well written. He's just a menace that shows up, causes some terrorism, mentally torments Yuji, and then vanishes. Nothing more than that. As a result, Sukuna has nothing at all that would put him in the GOAT talk of like anime villains and all that stuff, because he's just not an interesting antagonist for the main character. He doesn't do something that would make him like, oh yeah, Yeah, remember when he had this one speech that put him up there? Oh, that speech was so fire. Or he did this, that was so fire. Yeah, like, Sukuna's not like that. I'm not gonna lie, he's not like that. Sure, he's strong, and that's fire. But like, beyond the strength, there's nothing to him that makes him a go-talk villain. And what makes it worse is that strength doesn't even mean shit. Because when you think about it, realistically, when you sit down and you think about it, Madara Uchiha has had 0 confirmed kills of the main cast of Naruto. But he's up there in GOAT talk. 0 confirmed kills. But he's considered GOAT. He's considered top 3 best anime villains for a shonen. What is Sukuna doing? What is he doing? Clearly he's doing something wrong, right? And do you know what he's doing wrong? It goes a little like this. It's called the Sukuna Cycle. So, let me break it down, right? Sukuna is being called a fraud on the regular because he follows a cycle. And this cycle has been washed, it's been rinsed and repeated to hell and back. It is so ass. This cycle being 1. A new fighter has been introduced. This fighter gets gassed up to rival Gojo in some way because that's for some reason the only way we can bar or scale any character, by rivaling them with Gojo, right, in some way. Then 2, the fighter does some damage to Sukuna, right, to the point that the fandom will be like, man, character stocks are up. 3, character gets folded. Character gets folded by some ass pull. Either Sukuna's just broken or some ass pull's pulled to make Sukuna the winner, right? But what's worst of all about this part is that it's always revealed Sukuna was holding back. Then, number 4, a new character gets foreshadowed. And that's it. That's the cycle. The 4-phased cycle. New character introduced, they do some damage, they get washed, new characters foreshadowed. New characters introduced, fights Sukuna, gets washed, new characters foreshadowed. And it just repeats. What's worse, this is a rinsed cycle that has happened 5 times. 5 times it has happened with Gojo, Kashimo, Higuruma, Yuta, Maki, and now it's about to happen with Kusakabe. 6 times? Really? And what's worse? While we were doing it with Kusakabe, there was a flashback panel of like, who is the strongest first grade sorcerer? And then Mei, it's Kusakabe, Gojo. Disregarding the big 3 clans, isn't it Kusakabe? Nanami, isn't it Kusakabe? Kusakabe, it's either me or Usami. Who the fuck is Usami? You see what I'm saying? Wait, you see what I'm saying? Foreshadowing a new character, right? So we've had 5 characters, and now Kusakabe, and now Usami, who's probably gonna pop up, get foreshadowed to jump into the mix. They all got folded, by the way, except for Kusakabe, because we're gonna see him get folded, and also Usami. We're gonna see these 2 characters get folded, 6 and 7 get folded. But you see the cycle. You see the cycle when it comes to Gojo, World Cutter. When it comes to Kashimo, Cleave and Dismantle. When it comes to Higuruma, died from Cleave and Dismantle, right? When it comes to Yuta, cleaved. When it comes to Maki, Black Flashed. It's also kind of crazy that Maki got Black Flashed and folded on International Women's Day. Kind of crazy. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do, genuinely? Like, honestly, what is Kusakabe supposed to do? He's mentioned to be the top of the first grades when disregarding the big 3 clans. But honestly, when you think to yourself, what is that going to do? Because Sukuna has beaten Special Grade Gojo, the strongest of the special grades. Then he's beaten the 2nd strongest special grade, Yuta. Then he's beaten Maki, who's supposed to be on par with Toji. What is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? Cause like, bro, even the narrator is like, what? For real? Like, what are we supposed to do? Kusakabe is not doing shit. He's just going to fall into the same cycle. At that point, why even bring up the character into the fight when you know he's going to be fodder? It's as bad writing. And what makes it all even worse is the fact that Sukuna's just holding back. You know, that's what makes it suck. Sukuna's just holding back. And I know, I'm gonna get comments. I'm probably gonna get comments here or I've seen many comments on the internet. It was like, oh, JJK fans, when they realize that the strongest in history is actually the strongest. Like, no, that's not the reason why people are angry with this. Sukuna being strong is not the reason why people are angry. The reason why people are angry is because of how he's written to be strong. Because how are you going to introduce a character, have that character fold Sukuna, then Sukuna wins, but he was holding back? Like, that's the annoying part, especially when it's happened 6 times, or it's about to happen for the 6th time. Bring a character, folds Sukuna folds, but he was holding back. We're tired of this. He's just, at this point, Sukuna is the king of conveniences. And let me explain to you why. Sukuna has blazed through JJK, being an absolute king of conveniences. He rolls 20 on the dice every single time with every single situation. Sukuna, after 1,000 years of being sealed, just happens to conveniently come with conveniently come within the immediate contact of a 10 Shadows user who have been claimed to rival the 6 Eyes / Infinity. How convenient. Number 2, Megumi describes consuming Sukuna's finger to be like poison, right? And there's only 1 in a million chance of the consumer being possessed by Sukuna, otherwise they die. Only for Megumi to be that 1 in a million chance. What are the fucking odds? We know 1 in a million. Then number 3, Sukuna has the ability to adapt because of Mahoraga. So he has the ability to adapt to Gojo's infinity, and somehow is able to now craft a world ender, which somehow Gojo never heard the chant for it. He never saw the cursed energy build up, and he never saw the attack. Even though we saw Maki she saw the world ender coming towards her, and she dodged it. But somehow Gojo wasn't able to. Right, sure. How convenient. Great. Number 4, when fighting Higuruma, he conveniently has a weapon with him that gets confiscated when he's found guilty. Need I say more? No, actually, let me say more. While fighting Higuruma is given the Executioner Blade, a weapon that kills you on contact, no exceptions. Before it kills him, cuts off his hand. It is what it is. Like when Yuji gets the attack, and just before Yuji is about to stab Sukuna in the back, the ability stops working. How convenient! Like, come on, bro. I'm tired of this. And then, number 5, when fighting against Yuta, right? Yeah, sure, he was holding his own. Great, whatever. Right? But Yuji is wailing on him, decreasing his cursed energy. Finally, they break through. They speak to Megumi. Megumi gives up, which gives Sukuna enough time to cleave Yuta, get him out of the situation. Great. Now look, I'm gonna understand with the Megumi situation. Of course, Megumi's given up, right? It's understandable. But how convenient is it for Sukuna that Megumi has given up? You know, this is like 5 times that convenience has worked to Sukuna's favor. Actually, I thought of one now. Number 6, when Maki stabs Sukuna in the back, right? It hurt his soul. And it's been mentioned at least, 3 times now in the series that the soul cannot be healed with reverse curse technique. Guess what happens? Sukuna heals his soul with reverse curse technique. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm done. I'm actually done. Wow. When Mahito himself, the soul cursed spirit, says that you cannot heal your soul after being touched or after it being affected, Sukuna's like, nah, I'ma heal. So you understand the problem. 6 instances of Sukuna getting a lot of convenience. 6 instances of the Sukuna cycle being rinsed and repeated, with Sakabe being the 6th example. Like, despite losing a shit ton of cursed energy from Yuji wailing on him with the soul reverb punches, he's somehow still holding back. Then he manages, with the luck of the gods, to land a black flash on Maki, get all that cursed energy back, and now, if we're going by the fight between Mahito, Todo, and Yuji, he's now functioning at 120%. And we saw how Gojo was moving when he landed the black flash. We've seen how people function when they land black flashes, mentally and physically. And now Sukuna landed one against Maki. And now Kusakabe is supposed to be fighting that? Right. Cool. And look. I hope this is promotional material, right? Because this has been circling around the internet. And I hope that this is just promotional material and there's no meaning behind it. But if you look at this image right here, actually full screen. If you look at this image right here, you see Heian era Sukuna, full form Sukuna, Yuji. But look what's behind him. Is that Mahoraga's wheel? Just after Sukuna landed a black flash on Maki and got his cursed energy back, we're seeing this promotional material with the Mahoraga wheel. I hope either this was old, this image was old, or this is just promotional material with no meaning behind it. Because if you're telling me that Sukuna's going to have Mahoraga or Mahoraga's adaptability after the entire cast has been washed, I'm done. I'm dropping this series. I'm quitting. Fuck JJK. I used to be a fan of this series. But if this is the direction that they're going, fuck this series. I'm dropping it right now. This will be the video where I announce I am dropping JJK. Fuck the series. Because I'm not doing it. I'm tired of this cycle. I'm tired. I don't even care if they somehow win. Or Sukuna. I don't care anymore. The writing is just getting worse and worse. It's bad. The writing is bad. Akutami said like 2 years ago. Or like he said like a couple of years ago that he planned to end JJK 2 years ago. We should have ended it 2 years ago. Because what the fuck are you cooking right now? Shit's ass. Get the shit out of here. So yeah, at this point, I'm just mentally exhausted and yeah, I'm done with this video. That's enough of me ranting. But because I've seen Gege cannot cook. I've seen the fandom write better stories, better endings for JJK than Gege. For example, this one TikTok over here. Or this one scene where it was like somebody drew a fan art where Yuta used Sukuna's severed arm that he cut off when fighting Higuruma, where Yuta used Nobara's curse technique, resonance, to impale the hand to affect Sukuna's soul. That's so much better than what we have now, where we just have a rinsed and repeated cycle. It just sucks. So anyways, I'm done. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree in the comment section. I have an open mind, open ears. I'm willing to read your comments. I'm willing to have my mind changed. Okay, that said, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can always be notified every single time I upload or live stream, because I live stream every day. Take care of yourself, be ever wonderful. This has been Sukuna's biggest hater, signing out. Peace, y'all.